Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now yesterday, there were photos and a video that was circulating on social media after CS Moses Kuria meeting with the Maina Njenga at Kameme Radio. And people are discussing about the photos, who made it possible and why. Why were photos taken when Kuria met with the Maina Njenga? Because we are talking about someone who is in Azimio and another one is in Kenya Kwanza. They have sharply differed, and we know it has gone to an extent where some individuals have been forced to be arrested with trumped up charges. But these two individuals had a comfortable discussion. If you check on the video, they were exchanging ideas comfortably. So people are discussing that meeting. People can say, oh, he just bumped up to another individual. It was not organized. They just met. One was leaving and another one was just coming for the same issue, if it's an interview or what. But the fact remains that they met, and there is someone who allowed these photos to circulate. And all this is happening at a time when Kuria is sharply differing with Rigathi Gachagwa. There is an intense war between Kuria and Rigathi Gachagwa. And that's when they are now taking photo with the Maina Njenga. We know Maina Njenga has sharply differed with the Rigathi Gachagwa. Gachagwa has had a war with the Maina Njenga. They don't meet, they don't talk, they don't want to see each other. But we have Kuria here, who has also differed with Rigathi Gachagwa. The question is, what message is Kuria trying to send out by the fact that he's meeting with Maina Njenga, who is not even part of Ruto's way of ideology? He has sharply differed with Ruto. Ruto has differed with Uhuru Kenyatta, but Maina Njenga is also defending Uhuru Kenyatta. And all this is also happening at a time when Maina Njenga has confirmed that Uhuru is soon going to hand over the Mount Kenya region kingpinship to the next person. And he is also preparing to take over from Uhuru Kenyatta. So those are the questions that is coming out. Before we continue with this discussion, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, Master, thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. And by the way, I have not been active in the comment section for the past 2 days. I will try my best to be there. Yesterday, I had some issues. I did not manage to produce any video, but there was a lot to discuss. So whatever we missed to discuss yesterday, we will still create time so that we can at least try to do something on the same. Now, Kuria did not only meet Maina Njenga. Earlier, Kuria had met with Raila Odinga. And again, at one point, he met with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. All these people that I am mentioning, they are people that Gachagwa is viewing as some of his great enemies politically, especially when it comes to the issue of Mount Kenya region politics. But Kuria, it's like he is determined to meet each and everyone that Gachagwa has sharply differed with. People that Gachagwa is viewing as great enemies. Kuria is now embracing these leaders. Kuria is reaching out to these leaders. Kuria wants to be seen having an engagement, taking photos with those leaders. So the obvious reason that comes out is that Kuria want to make Gachagwa more angry and more mad. Because when they get to Mount Kenya region, the only thing Kuria can do is to stage a war on Raila, Uhuru, Maina Njenga, and anyone who is associating with the Raila Odinga and Azimio na Umoja. That worked for him for some time, but as of now, Mount Kenya knows their problem. It wasn't Raila, it wasn't Maina, not Uhuru Kenyatta. Ilikuwa ni team Kenya Kwanza. So by the fact that Kuria is now embracing these leaders and is using every means possible to meet them, it is just to tell Gachagwa that in as much you want to view these leaders as your enemies, they are not my enemies. They are my friends. I still embrace them. They are good people. That is the first obvious reason. And secondly, as you view them as enemies, me, Moses Kuria, I can still work with them. We don't have permanent enemies when it comes to politics. So Kuria can easily decide even to work with the people that Gachagwa has been viewing as an enemy with a target to join them and fight regarding Gachagwa. Who is the kingpin of Mount Kenya region? Our politics is local. No one should lie. Even Gachagwa knows that he was lying. So who is the kingpin? Uhuru is yet to hand over. And we would see which kingpin would emerge after Uhuru Kenyatta. The other factor is that Ruto want to make Gachagwa vulnerable. And so that once he's vulnerable, he's going to depend on William Samoei Ruto. Making vulnerable. How do you make him vulnerable? Make the people that he has been viewing as enemies to come together, and then use people like Moses Kuria to reach out to these leaders that Gachagua views as an enemy. So from there, if he was using a narrative that these are our enemies, that Azimio is our enemy, so and they will bring together. So people will view him as a man who is now the enemy. Umutoe kwa watu, that now he remains alone. Kwa watu inamaanisha kwamba you bring the leaders together. Weka Kuria, Kimani Chungwa, Ndindi Nyoro, na wengine. But for him, because he was of divisive politics, fight Uhuru, fight Maina Njenga, fight Kimani Chungwa, Ndindi, anyone, so that you take over Mount Kenya region. And at one point I told you, Ruto is happy with the kind of division, the divisive politics Gachagua is advancing in Mount Kenya region. Because once he does so, he will be alone. And when he's alone, he's vulnerable. So what you do, you start now bring these leaders together. Use every means possible. Because Ruto, as of now, he would not want anyone to view him as a man who has a fight with Raila Odinga, neither Uhuru Kenyatta or other person in Azimio. Instead, they want to be viewed as a man who wants to bring these leaders together. As he does so, he wants Gachagua to be away from these leaders and continue with this fight that he had earlier against these leaders. So Gachagua, at the end of the day, he will be isolated. And that is what Kuria is trying to do here. Meet everyone and be that voice of unity, so that you can be viewed as a person who can reach out to any other leader. Unaweza fikia Raila, unaweza fikia Kalonzo, unaweza fikia Maina Njenga. Ikiwezekana pia anaweza shuka chini on his list na afikia nani? Uhuru Kenyatta. So Gachagua will be isolated, and then from there he will have no say. The only person who would have say, it will be his boss, William Ruto. Remember, Gachagwa launched a war on the Northland farm, Spectra East Africa, in Raila Odinga. He could even advance to Kalonzo, the arrest that Maina Njenga has been subjected to. Ruto allowed Gachagwa to do all this. Now he's coming in using other people like Kuria to fight him. So he's going to remain in his own war. And if Ruto will have Gachagwa as his running mate in 2027, then after that election, whether Ruto will win or lose, he's going to dump Gachagwa. And this is going to happen. The signs are clear. He will dump him. Whether they win or lose, it will happen. So it's a preparation that either I dump Gachagwa before 2027 and have another person. So bring other leaders together, let them see united, use other people like Moses Kuria, and then isolate Gachagwa. So that is one part of the game. And Kuria is trying to tell Gachagwa that we can work together without you. And we can have the unit of Mount Kenya region. You can only be the kingpin if you are seen, viewed, and get that perception that you are bringing leaders together. For you to lead, you start by bringing leaders together, then you bring the community together. Once you fail, you lose it. So Kuria is telling Gachagwa that I can be the kingpin also, because that fight has been there. We have seen the engagement and then the differences coming out clear. So he's clear. I can be that leader who can bring the people together. I can reach out to the people you are viewing as your enemies who are still part of the Mount Kenya leaders. So the war is advancing and the reaction is real. The message is clear. The war is still going on. Gachagwa should prepare for more than what he's seeing as of now. And this is also a political lesson for him. You cannot get to power and you start initiating a war, an intense war against everyone. And you end up losing to be the voice of unity when you think that you can lead people.